What if you stopped doing everything in your relationship and he never stepped up? Would it all fall apart? That fear keeps millions of women stuck, working overtime in love, burning themselves out because the very thought of letting go is terrifying. I get it because I lived it. I was one fixing every problem, doing all the emotional labor, holding the relationship together until one day I finally stopped. And what happened next shocked me because I made a huge mistake in this process, one that sent everything going downhill fast. I want to share it with you today so you don't have to repeat my mistake. And here's a twist: when you stop carrying the whole load, there's only two possible outcomes, and both of them are wins. I'll show you what they are before we finish, but first, you need to understand why this fear feels so real. I'm Sabrina Phoenix, a trained therapist who helps smart, successful women stop giving everything and only getting crumbs in return. Start receiving the real love and queen treatment they deserve. How many times have you told yourself, if I don't plan a date, it won't happen? If I don't remind him, it won't get done? That belief is wired into us. For years, women have been told if you don't hold it together, everything will fall apart. Nearly 1 in 3 married people report to feeling lonely, and women are more likely to carry the invisible mental and emotional load that causes burnout. Here's the problem: overfunctioning, overdoing, overgiving is like overdrafting your emotional bank account. You keep making deposits into someone else's balance while your account runs empty. And the truth, a healthy relationship feels like a joint savings, both people investing and both people benefiting. So if a relationship only works because you're carrying it, then it's not really working at all. My wake up moment was when I looked in the mirror one day and just saw how drained and exhausted I was, and I barely recognized myself. Letting go felt absolutely terrifying. It was like letting go of the steering wheel on a highway. And let me be clear, you can always go back to doing more if you like it that way. But for me, I was drained and exhausted and tired of being on 24/7. That's why I decided I'd rather my man spoil me than keep spoiling him and have him take me for granted. And at first, when I stopped doing everything, he didn't magically rise to the occasion. In fact, he stayed distant. I don't share this to scare you. This was his pattern. He was emotionally unavailable. And when a man is wired that way, it doesn't matter how much you give or do for him, he will stay distant. And that was painful because part of me hoped that he would step up. And I realized that him staying distant wasn't a mistake. It was the clarity I needed to move forward. It showed me the truth I'd been avoiding, that my relationship only worked when I was overdoing, overfunctioning, and bending over backwards. And if that's the case, it's not really working at all. Now, here's the twist. After I ended it, he started wanting to please me, pursue me, and protect me because he realized what he'd lost. But by then, I was done living on crumbs. I knew I wanted the kind of love where I didn't have to beg, chase, or carry the relationship alone. That's when I made the choice to only accept relationships where I feel fully supported, valued, cherished, and treated like a queen. If this is hitting home, then you need to watch the first two in this series. It's going to show you why you keep overdoing, overfunctioning, and settling for crumbs in the first place. And if you don't see that, you're bound to repeat this cycle over and over again, no matter how much you try to lean back. I'll link it up here so you can break the crumb and overdoing cycle and finally start getting the love and adoration you deserve. Remember, I promised I'd share what would happen when you stop doing everything? When you stop doing everything, there are only two outcomes. One, he steps up, the relationship grows stronger, healthier, and more balanced, and you stop having to do everything. You start getting an actual partner who's there for you, who you can lean on and supports you. And you can co create the partnership, the mutually satisfying relationship you've been needing all along. And number two is he doesn't step up. And while that hurts, you stop wasting years of your life tolerating crumbs and waiting for someone who doesn't have the capacity to meet your needs so that you can actually attract a man who can, and let go of all that anger and resentment that has been building up over the years. Either way, you stop hustling for scraps and start claiming the queen treatment and love that's safe, mutual, and deeply nourishing. Because your worth is no longer measured by how much you're doing or giving your partner and family. And here was my huge mistake that sent everything going downhill real fast. I wanted to see if he could meet me halfway so we could create a healthy partnership. So when I stepped back, he misread that. He thought I was pulling away from him. He even started wondering if I was cheating. And that misunderstanding sent everything downhill. That lesson, while it was actually really painful, gave me the clarity that the relationship only worked when I was killing myself and overfunctioning. And that's why now I coach women, I guide them through this process step by step so they can stop overgiving, overfunctioning, and overdoing without creating confusion or collapse in their relationship. So if you've been afraid that everything will fall apart when you stop overfunctioning, here's the truth. What falls apart isn't love. It's the illusion that you had to earn love by overworking for it. Real love doesn't drain you. It feels like fully being supported, seen, cherished, and adored, not exhausted and miserable and doing everything on your own. And that shift starts right now. Don't miss the past 2 videos in this series that is key to breaking the overdoing and crumb cycle for good so you can have the love and partnership you've always wanted.